We win! Let's go! Making plays, they can't stop us! Hey, don't ever stop! Don't quit!
Straight up the middle, he's hit at the goal line. Touchdown, Red Raiders!
This is Red Raider Football with Mike Leach, presented by First United Bank.
Hello there, and welcome into Red Raider Football with Mike Leach. My name's Drew Doherty. I'm your host. Texas in town, taking on the Red Raiders, and on this week's show, we'll do Ask Coach Leach. We'll show you what happened in the game between the Longhorns and the Red Raiders. We'll talk about it afterwards with the head coach, and we'll take a look at number 6, Graham Harrell. So don't go anywhere. Red Raider Football with Mike Leach is coming right back.
Red Raider Football with Mike Leach is presented to you by First United Bank.
So very glad you're back with us here on Red Raider Football with Mike Leach. Here with a bunch of crazy Tech fans, and right now it's time for Ask Coach Leach. It's very, very simple. You go to texastech.com, you send in those questions for the coach, and he'll answer them just like he did after a practice earlier this week. Coach, Jerry in Wink, Texas asks, we tailgate at every home game. What's your favorite tailgating food, and how do you feel that Tech's tailgating ranks among other NCAA schools?
Well, Tech's, my favorite would probably be baby back ribs, somebody that's got a really good baby back ribs recipe. And then I think it's really good. When I first got here, there really wasn't a great deal of it, and now there's a ton of it. And our atmosphere before the game, whether it's the tailgating aspect or walking around down there on Broadway and the streets and all the rest, from what I can see is excellent. When I retire, I'm going to have to go walk around and check it out, but that's going to have to wait. But I hear it's great, and I can, and just looking at it, it's up there with anybody that I'm familiar with.
Justin in Cypress, Texas says a lot of players psych themselves up with music before a game. Are there any pregame rituals that you do?
The biggest thing, nothing really dynamic, is I just do things in sequence. There's just sort of a routine and an order that takes place. Once you have the special teams meeting in the morning at game day, then everything tends to follow after that. And as long as the short answer is I follow the itinerary, but I'm really conscious of when I do it and stuff.
Pretty safe to say you're not going to be borrowing Brandon Carter's Maybelline pencils anytime soon?
No, he needs all those for himself. He's got a pretty big head.
All right, Kerry in Lubbock says, if you could play any position on your team, what would you like to play?
D-line, no question, D-line. I mean, defensive line, you'll have a gap or something, but basically you charge upfield with low pads and reckless abandon and kill the guy that's got the ball. It's I think that'd be the most fun position.
From Todd in Dallas, how much film does Graham Harrell watch during a game week?
A lot, pretty much anything that's available on the opponent. He's always been a great student of football, and so typically before he and I meet on Tuesday, he's already watched all the film, and then it's kind of review and just reinforces things.
And that's kind of a self-motivated thing for him, isn't it? Nobody's telling him to do that, correct?
Well, you're not going to be a very good quarterback if you don't do that. I've never had a quarterback that didn't do that. It's going to be very hard to play quarterback if you don't do that, but he does that on his own.
Jackson in Sugar Land asks, which day of practice translates the most to game day?
Wednesday.
How come?
Well, it's a heavy day. It's the day that has the most contact, and then Tuesday's like that too, except for things are more polished by Wednesday.
Red Raider Football with Mike Leach is presented to you by First United Bank.
We're glad you're back with us here on Red Raider Football with Mike Leach, here with the game day set behind us. Texas Tech hosted the #1 Longhorns, and this is what happened. A rowdy record-setting crowd on hand for the matchup with the #1 Longhorns. The series with Texas dating back 80 years. To the latest chapter we go. UT ball following a punt, running on 1st and 10 from their 2. Colby Whitlock stuffs it for the safety. A team-high 8 tackles for the sophomore. 2-0 Red Raiders. After the kick, Tech putting together an 11-play drive, helped out here by the 3rd and 10 pass and catch from Graham Harrell to Michael Crabtree for an 18-yard pickup down to the Longhorn 12. Tech with 160 yards of passing in the first quarter. The drive resulting in the first career field goal for AT&T All-American Player of the Week, Matt Williams, the 29-yarder putting the Red Raiders up 5-0. Texas ball now. Colt McCoy back to throw on 2nd and 10. Daniel Charbonnet there with the coverage. UT with 8 yards of offense in the quarter. Following the punt, 3rd and 8 from their 6. Harrell drops back, throws from his own end zone, going deep. Easy Ed Britton racing down the far sideline with the catch at midfield. Out at the UT 48, the junior with a team-high 139 yards on 7 receptions. On the 10th play of the 96-yard drive, the give to Baron Batch, and he finds pay dirt into the end zone, standing up for his 5th rushing score of the season. The Red Raiders up 12-0 through 1. Second quarter now, Tech ball at the 32, 3rd and 14, Harrell back to pass. The Great Wall giving him all kinds of time. The senior needing a completion to pass Red Raider great Cliff Kingsbury for the most in school history, and Harrell gets it. Lyle Leong with the honors, a 14-yard pickup for the first down. The 8-play, 83-yard drive capped here on 1st and 10 from the 18. Harrell hits Eric Morris on the out pattern at the 6, and the Elf does the rest. Into the end zone for the score of the senior's 5th touchdown reception of 2008. 19-0 Red Raiders. Still in the second, Longhorns looking to capitalize on a turnover. Back to pass on 2nd and 13. Brandon Williams gets around the edge and gets to the QB for one of his team-high 10 sacks on the season. The junior tied for 4th on the school career list. Very next snap, 3rd and 16, the swarm defense gets pressure and McCoy is flushed from the pocket. Marlon Williams in pursuit, and he gets the sack, his 2nd of the year, holding UT to a field goal. There's excited to play, there's really excited to play, and then there's Marlon Williams. On Tech's ensuing possession, 1st and 10 from the 47, they give to Shannon Woods, and he gets around the corner and turns it for a 16-yard gain, the senior averaging nearly 5 yards a carry for the contest. Tech outrushing the Longhorns by 25 yards. Matt Williams would come on and connect on his 2nd field goal of the night, the 33-yarder putting the Red Raiders up 22-3. Third quarter now, UT ball trailing by 9. McCoy throwing from his own end zone. Daniel Charbonnet there to pick it off at the 18, his 5th of the season. The senior returns it for the touchdown. The swarm defense with 9 points on the night. 29-13 Red Raiders. Later, UT with a 1st and 10 from Tech's 44. Watch the speed and technique from Brandon Williams to get the sack, a loss of 7. The swarm defense holding UT 110 yards below their season average. Late 4th quarter now, the Longhorns working their way back into the game on 11-play, 80-yard drive capped by the go-ahead touchdown from Vondrell McGee. But Graham Harrell in the offense with a minute and change to work put together a 6-play drive with the game on the line. On 2nd and 10 from the UT 28, down 1 with 8 seconds to play. We turn the call over to the boys in the booth.
So Harrell in the shotgun from the 28 to throw. Goes to the right side for Crabtree. It's caught. He breaks. Oh, he's the one. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Unbelievable. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Michael Crabtree has done it. Michael Crabtree makes the catch at the 5, breaks the tackle and scores. Unbelievable, Michael Crabtree. Oh my gosh, can you believe that?
The Red Raiders improved to 9-0, jumped to 2 in the AP. 39-33 is your final. The victory over Texas from Jones AT&T Stadium.
Red Raider Football with Mike Leach is presented to you by First United Bank.
For the best deal every day, see Odin Chevrolet. It's where friends meet friends at Odin Chevrolet.
We invite you to experience the Odin difference. Friendly service and personal attention. From crew cabs to extended cabs, SUVs and Impalas, we've got the best prices in West Texas on Chevrolets. Call today for a quote.
Odin Chevrolet, employed Ada, Texas since 1936.
Fox Talk 950 is the home for Red Raider football with Mike Leach. Tech Talk's Robert Giovanetti and Chris Levels sit down with Coach Leach every Thursday night for an in-depth look at the week's opponents. With game analysis, player interviews, and your calls answered live on the air. It's the show to listen to for true Red Raider fans. Listen to Fox Talk 950 or watch it on the Fox AccuWeather channel. Red Raider football with Mike Leach, Thursdays at 5 p.m. on the Fox AccuWeather channel and Fox Talk 950.
big box stores
can have small service.
So visit Watermaster Irrigation Supply, because no one knows irrigation like they do.
Watermaster has over 240 years of combined experience in the landscape irrigation business.
And we have 9 licensed irrigators on staff.
I recommend this equipment, and if you need any help, we can put you in touch with a contractor. You can water effectively and lower your water bill.
Thanks for your business.
Watermaster can help you.
There was a time when I didn't know what my future looked like. Then I decided on the medical assistant program at Computer Career Center. And in no time, I was in the classroom with highly trained instructors gaining the right knowledge and preparation to lead me into the job I always wanted. Now I have a job I love. Can you see your future at Computer Career Center?
You've got a great future with us at Computer Career Center. Call 785-2100 today.
On Red Raider football with Mike Leach. Halloween weekend, the Longhorns in town taking on the Red Raiders, and after the game was finished, we talked all about it with Mike Leach. First of all, Coach, congratulations on the win at the end. 2 big-time players. We've heard all about them, all their careers. They come up big when needed the most, huh?
I thought they really did good. I thought Michael and Crabtree and Graham both played really well. I thought Graham really had a big game as far as engineering our offense. Really tightly contested with a team the quality of Texas, and you had 2 great quarterbacks, but I thought Graham had the upper hand most of the day. He had a dry spell the second half, but anyway, huge drive at the end to win, and another comeback win orchestrated by Graham Harrell.
Yeah, Graham has a better game than McCoy. A lot of that in large part due to what the offensive line did for you guys tonight, right?
I thought our defensive line really played well early. I thought our defensive line played fast and was really explosive early. That kind of set the tempo and the tone for the game.
And just a punishing performance by your defensive line all night long, wasn't it?
I thought they did play good. We gave up a big play or two, but I thought they did play good. And really, I think the thing that overall gave us the most trouble was that punter for Texas. So.
Yeah, first half, that guy's their MVP, isn't he?
Yeah, there's no question, and maybe even beyond that.
Ed Britton drops a touchdown early, and then after that, he's just money.
Yeah, Ed's played well the last 2 weeks in a row, and so we're looking forward to more out of him.
How cool is it that a guy like the Elf, who came in with 3 career touchdowns against the Longhorns, adds another tonight? How cool is it that a guy that came from his situation, of his stature, doing a great job this season, gets to do it in a big game like this?
Well, good for him. He's got a little magic. He's the Elf,
How magical is he, though?
He's magical enough to be, his height, his speed, and just have. But there's nothing new about that to the Elf. The Elf was in the middle of a basketball state championship where he hit a bunch of shots that were kind of in a similar fashion to all that.
Was this, being the game that this was this an easier game to coach and prepare for, given the circumstances, or was it a little bit tougher because of the distractions?
I thought our players were really disciplined as far as really focusing during football time. It was tough on me, just the media demands and just a lot of stuff during the week and people showing up and the rest,
What's it say about your team's intestinal fortitude? They go up early, they get behind late, and then they come back and win it.
Well, I was really proud of them. I thought they did really good. I thought our crowd was really key. I thought our crowd was gigantic. I thought our crowd was gigantic the whole game. I think the entire atmosphere that they created was just literally critical to winning this game, and I thought it was huge.
You've been a lot of places, seen a lot of things. Is a crowd ever compared to what they did tonight to anything you've seen in your past?
No, I just think it was tremendous. I mean, just the enthusiasm and the atmosphere that they have here.
Kind of a crescendo after the build-up all week. How cool is it having those kids camping out?
Well, I thought that was really neat, and I thought that was really neat, and I'm sure they had an incredible time. I wish I could have done it with them, but with coaching football and the rest. But I think that'd be a blast. It wasn't as high tech or as many people involved when I'd go camping when I was in college. It was more, go up the canyon, cook elk steaks, and shoot your guns. But it was, it'd be a heck of an experience. And then, of course, I thought that was all key, and I was really proud that we could bring them a win.
some anxious Red Raider fans, but one more time, here's the head coach, Mike Leach. On a night like tonight, you'll take kicking from the 7-yard line to finish the game, won't you?
Yeah, but it's kind of dangerous. It's a heck of a lot more dangerous than kicking from the 40 or whatever.
You called timeout right before that. What'd you say to you and Clay McGuire say to the kickoff unit?
Just to regroup and make sure we had 11, get everybody on the same page, you know.
Was this typical Mike Leach as far as pregame and halftime speeches? What were you like talking to the team before the game and during the half?
Well, we were pretty amped up. The biggest thing was to make sure everybody just understood, do your job and not try to make too much happen.
How about Daniel Charbonnet? He gets in the end zone there, gets another interception. Pretty fantastic season for him, isn't it?
Yeah, no question. Really a great season for him, and leads the team in interceptions and might lead the nation.
Michael Crabtree, what did he mean to the team tonight? Not just on that final play.
Just a real steady, real explosive, kind of real mature, strong player.
You know, we're smart tonight. You beat the number 1 team in the nation.
Yeah, it turned out good. We have almost an 80%, just under 80% graduation rate, and the national average is something like 56%.
Coach, in the past, the Longhorns have done a really good job of taking the running back position out of the game, but tonight, Baron Batshane and Woods come up huge, catching the ball and running the ball, don't they?
Well, I think they did some good things there. I think they really did some good things as far as that went. We had some trouble with our screens, but I thought the backs did a good job rushing the ball and had some receptions, and those guys have really complemented each other well all year and have played well.
Is this the toughest performance by them tonight? Because it always seemed like there was about 5 or 6 white shirts it took to bring them down.
Yeah, I think it was tough, and I think the other thing is the thing about Texas is, you'll get them and they'll make a mistake and you'll have some yards, but they just correct it so well. It's like against somebody else you might get 12 yards, against them you get 4,
I know you're even keel, but come on, this one was a little bit more fun than most victories, right?
This was a good one, no question. And I'll enjoy it tonight and then get ready for Oklahoma State.
All right, Coach, congratulations on the win. We'll see you next week here at the Jones against the Cowboys.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Red Raider Football with Mike Leach is presented to you by First United Bank.
At first, I think here was coming.
So happy you're back with us here on Red Raider Football with Mike Leach. Before we get going, let's take a look at number 6, Graham Harrell. Senior captain Graham Harrell is the leading passer in school history. The Ennis product took over the air raid offense as a sophomore and threw for 38 touchdowns, 4,555 yards, boasting the biggest passing season for a sophomore in Texas Tech's history. He picked up the first of many National and Big 12 Player of the Week honors. Coach Mike Leach knew that he had a special quarterback.
I knew that he was a hard worker, and I knew that he was a good student of the game, and I knew that players responded well to him, and then so with the work, his skills have improved. But then also what the rest of the team's able to draw from him, that's improved, and to be expected. But I think he's done it in a really impressive fashion.
Harrell closed the 2006 season leading an improbable come-from-behind victory over Minnesota in the Insight Bowl, picking up MVP honors and beginning a legacy of gutsy comeback wins.
Just coming back and winning games where, he knows it's the key time and gets the most out of the people around him and is very composed. We've always been very much on the same page on that type of thing.
His junior season would see him rack up more Player of the Week honors, win the Sammy Baugh Trophy as the nation's best quarterback, and take all Big 12 honors on the field and in the classroom. A victory over number 3 Oklahoma sent the Red Raiders to the Gator Bowl. For the second year in a row, Harrell would lead a gritty comeback, Texas Tech scoring 17 points in the final 4 minutes to secure the 31-28 victory over the 20th-ranked Virginia Cavaliers, showing the ability to lead the offensive unit by making routine plays.
He's really good at focusing on what his job is, and and specifically doing that, and the discipline to do that, I think, is something that needs to be developed, and he's really done a good job of that.
As a senior, the Heisman Trophy candidate has continued to develop. The holder of 6 NCAA records, owns 3 of the school's top 10 passing games, and is currently 4th all-time on the NCAA passing yardage list. He is also a candidate for the Davy O'Brien and Maxwell Awards and the Walter Camp All-America team. Currently working on his master's in education, he has also been named one of 15 National Scholar Athlete winners and is a finalist for the Dratty Award, considered by many as the academic Heisman. All right, that's going to do it for this week's show. We really do appreciate you watching. Want you to check us out again next time because Oklahoma State is coming to the Jones. And hey, for more information,